Hi, everybody. It's Grace. Welcome to Eating Peace. I wasn't here last week because I was on silent retreat in California with one of my favorite teachers who's named Adyashanti. And this silent retreat is really completely in silence, with the exception of evening satsang, as it's called, which is the connection and community of all the people where they have an opportunity to ask questions and come to a microphone and have a talk with the teacher. And otherwise, all silent afternoons, silent meditation sittings, silent meals, a very beautiful, slow sensation of feeling the peace of being in a state of having nothing to contend with, nothing required whatsoever, nothing that's needed to do, nothing that is disturbing. And I had this wonderful awareness of something new, which was, oh, when I get back home and I have to go back into my daily life and all the activities that happen with kids and work and being with clients and even teaching a workshop the very day after I got home. What a funny thing to have that on the schedule. That this inner busyness and energy will be lit on fire again. And often we'll feel that exact same kind of sense around anticipating future contact with food. I'm going to have to eat later. I'm going to have to be at that party with all this food everywhere in sight. There's going to be abundance all over the place, and I need to prepare myself, and I can't stay silent and calm and present. I'm going to begin to have this nervous, intense energy, sometimes even a feisty, strong, zinging, kind of fiery energy. You could even call it violent energy, and I'll explain why in a minute. Something that is driving, where you are saying, I have to. I think I might have even just said that a minute ago. I have to come back into daily life and be in contact with all this stuff and the way the world moves, and getting in my car and doing laundry and getting groceries and tending to all the things that I seem to need to tend to in my daily life. Often, people have this incredible craving for being on retreat on the inside. You want to be on retreat on the inside when you are in contact with food and eating, do you not? It's what we notice around consuming or any kind of addictive patterns. If I just felt this peace, if I felt calm and not really activated or triggered or with concern, if I'm not disturbed. But I realized in this awareness that I had being on retreat, that it was my total belief that being in everyday life was a disturbance itself. I was just disturbed right and left. Things had to get interrupted. I had to look at a clock. I had to pay attention to time. I only have limited amount for this much and limited amount for that much. And so there was interruptions and inconveniences and things to avoid and things to add, that I'm searching for. Well, what if my experience about movement, especially around food and eating or anything, like an empty present moment. Often people feel concern about food and eating or want to go move towards that when it's at nighttime and there's unscheduled time, and then all of a sudden they want to begin to fill up or kind of get comfort because of this busy day that they've just had, and then another busy day that's going to happen tomorrow. Oh my gosh, I have a moment of peace. Well, let me start to fill it with activity, eating activity. So you're not really feeling a sense of peace and comfort and calm ever, even when you do get a moment of quiet. It's very difficult. So one of the best ways to work with that is something that this morning we actually did in the Eating Peace group and in our live inquiry session. We were looking at moments where we really feel powerlessness in the past, most specifically in childhood or something in long ago, earlier in life, when maybe we were around somebody who had a lot of anxious energy, who was very busy, where we had a sense of being extremely disturbed. And really look at that and sit with it and use the work of Byron Katie to inquire. So, first step, is to simply see and take a look at what was actually going on. That's that first initial step of the work, which is the Judge Your Neighbor worksheet. You can Google that and look for it online. It's got 6 powerful questions that you can spend time with and figure out what your answers are as you look at a moment that you felt a lot of disturbance, a disturbance in your life. If you don't want to look all the way back and you can't really even find it or remember it from childhood, just do it with something recent. Notice what it is that's disturbing you besides just always this focus on food. Oh my God, I'm so disturbed by all this food that's everywhere. Could there be something more than just food and eating that is disturbing? Take a look at that. Watch how you are in your relationships. What is your relationship to time, even? I notice that these are some of the thoughts that I can question as I come back into my daily life. It is not possible for me to not be disturbed in this moment, when I'm doing this activity, when I'm busy, when I have deadlines. It's not possible to be quiet and on retreat on the inside. Is that true? This is the first question, and the question's known as the work of Byron Katie. Is that true? You inquire. Is it true that I cannot be on retreat as I'm driving to the store to get milk? No. I find the answer is no. And the idea that it's not possible to be on retreat is quite anxious and disturbing in itself. So I wanted to share with you just a little something from the Tao that I love. If you spend time inquiring into moments that feel quite disturbing and have felt quite disturbing in your life, violent, anxious, difficult, great sense of powerlessness, to really look and spend time with them, and to remember that you're safe right now in the moment as you look. You are safe. It's okay to be writing about something and feeling strong feelings in this present moment. I always notice when I'm journaling or I'm learning and becoming aware of something that happened in the past, in this present moment, it's very quiet. I am completely safe. It's okay. I might feel uncomfortable now as I remember, but it is okay to remember and go back and then do this work and inquire. But the Tao says, for every force, there is a counterforce. Violence, even well-intentioned, always rebounds upon itself. I have had so many moments in life, as you all have, as anyone has who's in the human condition, when thoughts about the self, thoughts about a situation actually become violent. And of course, anyone wants to escape violence. You have your own mind that's saying, I can't handle this, oh my God, this is too much. You'll want to escape, you'll want to run, and you begin to look for something that will relieve or change or do something for you. It's often a substance or an activity that feels addictive, that feels compulsive. The Tao goes on to say, and this is Tao number 30, the master does his job and then stops. He understands that the universe is forever out of control, and that trying to dominate events goes against the current of the Tao. Because he believes in himself, he doesn't try to convince others. Because he is content with himself, he doesn't need others' approval. Because he accepts himself, the whole world accepts him. But I love this most importantly, and how it applies to what I'm sharing with you today, about stopping an inner violence, stopping the lack of being able to be on retreat in every moment in your daily, simple human life, and including contact with food and eating. What stops you from being peaceful is a sense of being out of control and trying to dominate events, which has sort of got this violent sense of energy in itself. So if I just let go, slow down, spend some time in my journal looking at these moments of powerlessness, answering those questions that are on a Judge Your Neighbor worksheet about what I think should be going on instead, and letting my voice really say what needs to be said in that moment, and then relaxing with it and taking it to inquiry. What an amazing experience to allow things to be as they are. Take care. Let me know how it goes.